tape from the Houston stuff. What do you guys think you really improved offensively?
Improved. I think there was some effort stuff that was better. We obviously ran the ball a little bit more violently, more effectively. I think when a game happens like that, you usually tend to dwell on the things that you need to do better. So we've been working on those and addressing them. But everybody's got some stuff that they can improve on from that game. I think they're playing hard. I mean, we get a lot out of these guys. So I'm proud of that. But we got to learn how to finish and learn how to finish games off with a win.
When you say a couple things you could do better, off the top of your head, what are a couple of those?
I just think our general execution in times when we had to make a play wasn't quite there. I think our communication in those heavy moments can improve. And then, just when it gets hard, when everybody knows what's going on, we've got to play with great technique and trust our technique and not just try to win that one-on-one and sacrifice all the stuff that we've worked on so long to do. Trust the technique, play with great communication, and good things will happen.
Where does that start first, though, for getting those improvements going into this next week?
It starts out there. It starts with me and starts with us just demanding the communication part of it. I think I've said that to you guys in here before, that more plays are ruined by poor communication than poor scheme. Whatever call we make, if we all do the same call, I think we'll be fine. Now, making the right call is the best situation we can be in, but making the call that we're all doing the same thing is kind of critical, and especially in situations like that.
Where do you think that communication is breaking down? Is that coach to player? Is that player in the huddle? Is that offensive line adjustment up front? Just kind of, where's that dropping off for you?
Yes, I mean, it's probably a little bit of everything. I think when in that situation, it was, there's a call made, but it doesn't get echoed all the way down the line. And so when I stand out there at practice, I stand right behind the line, and if they don't make the call, we go back to the huddle and we do it again. It's just those guys have enough examples now to where they can understand if we do not, bad things will happen. So getting it fixed, they understand how critical that is for us right now.
When you guys have gotten into the 2-minute offense, you've run the ball a lot and really run down the clock kind of early in those. And I'm curious, it's been really conservative. What's kind of your explanation for that?
Well, in the last game, you had to, because they had 3 timeouts. So we didn't really have much of a choice. You can't throw the ball 3 times and give them a minute and a half with 3 timeouts. So we ran the ball. Once we got the first down and they had burned some timeouts, that's when we attacked. And when we attacked, I thought we put ourselves in a good spot. We had a couple incompletions that I thought we had chances for big plays on. One got batted down. So I've kind of moved on a little bit, so I can't remember it all, perfectly. But you got to play to some. You're playing as an offense, but you're playing as a team. You can't turn around and put your defense in an awful spot there too. So that was the plan of in that last drive of making sure that we got the first down, made them burn the timeouts before we really attacked.
When you've got a depth chart in place and you've moved through a good portion of the season, and then you have a game like Cornell had the game that you had the other night, how do you adjust that on the fly? How do you make space for a guy who's maybe shown he needs a little more?
Yeah, I think Coach Pick had a good feel for it. Cornell's one of those guys that you know what you're going to get. Like, the guy plays hard. I think you guys saw it the other night. He runs extremely hard. Injuries to Sala kind of elevated him. And we've talked about this in here with you guys before, that Hank's going to be a better back when we're not asking him to carry the ball 30 times a game. So getting other guys involved, we saw how advantageous that can be for us the other night.
What is it that you guys are still waiting to see before it can really move away from needing Hank to carry it 30 times?
What are we looking for?
Yeah,
I think probably what you saw the other night from Cornell. And whatever Hank's feeling or being dinged, like he's not necessarily in a position at this point in the season to where we're going to be able to put that type of load on him. But that's a very deep room. You saw Marquise Crosby caught a touchdown. Reichel's in there a ton. Obviously Cornell, I don't know, he had 17 carries maybe. we feel really good about that room. And then you got Corday Glass, who's a young guy who I think we also feel really good about. So just getting him in there and then finding that hot hand and seeing who's really running it well and seeing it well is kind of the direction you go. I'm not down there, so Coach Pick has a better feel for who's kind of playing well in the moment, but I thought the other night it was pretty obvious.
Does Crosby bring, with his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield, does he bring just maybe a little bit of a different feel or ability to that offense?
Yeah, they're all a little bit different. I think they all have different skill sets and talents, and we personnel that. So it's, on that play that Marquise caught the touchdown, that was Marquise had taken those reps during the week. So those are pretty planned out. This guy's skill set fits this play the best, or what we need from somebody on this play. So yeah, that's all in practice and game planning, all sorted out.
You said you've kind of moved off that Houston game, but what's kind of on your mind headed into this week against App State?
It's just getting better. The results are always important. We need results to be able to continue what we're doing here. But it's a process. It's the mission over the goal. And the goal is to win the game, but the mission is to continually get better. We need to improve. We need to improve with communication, with effort, with toughness, with execution, with accuracy, with route detail, with everything. If you lose sight of what that mission is, of what that improvement is, you lose sight of development and getting better. And then, we need to put ourselves in the best position to win games. And now that we're in these positions to win games, we have to finish.
We're about to talk to Tyler. On a personal level, what was it like seeing him back on the field? And then also, what did he bring to that line?
Yeah, I think with Tyler, like last year, I thought up until, I don't know, it was the second quarter or third quarter of the San Diego State game, I thought he was playing better than anybody else on our offensive line. So it really sucked that he had to go down. It's not an easy injury to come back from. But in those situations, you feel good for those guys who worked so hard to come back and get on the field and have success. Those are that's part of the reason why you do it, is to get guys to push them to where they can't necessarily go by themselves. And you want to go there with them and help get them there. But that was cool to see him come back. We got a lot of stories like that. Jacob Strand got hurt last year, him coming back. Tyler Morano's been hurt, him coming back and being pretty involved in the last game. Those are pretty special stories for those guys. And now it's getting them on the field and getting them confident. Hey, I can do this. I'm not injured anymore. I'm ready to kind of turn it loose.
When you look at App State defensively, what do they do that you got to be prepared for?
Their coverage-wise are a little different than what we're used to. They'll do some stuff that is not necessarily what we've seen, different than some of the defenses that we've seen. They change the fronts. They're going to pressure our edges. So having a plan in place that accounts for all that stuff is important. But their talent and their ability, like they're a good football team, and it's also in a tough place to go play. So our guys got to be up for that and ready to go attack.
Looking at what they've done in their last two games, they've given up a lot of points and they've given up a lot of yards, but a lot of that's come through the air. Is it a situation where you guys challenge yourself to go in there and run against a defense that doesn't give up as many yards, or is it, this is an opportunity for our offense to get going through the air?
I think we need to run the football to be a winning football team. We've got good players on the offensive line and good running backs. We need to have an identity, a toughness to where we will run the ball. That being said, a lot of running the ball in today's day and age of football is, if they're taking it away, you have to have answers. So sometimes with the, what you want to call it, the RPO world of football now, defenses dictate where the ball goes a lot of times. So that's decision-making at the quarterback position. That's communication up front, making sure we're on our right spots. So we've got to be a well-rounded football team. I don't think we're ever going to be one-dimensional in any way.
They're obviously down the depth chart, but how have you seen Callum and Tristan kind of come along this year?
They're good. I think those two, they work a lot with the scout teams. They're both very smart, and they're both still very, very engaged in what we're doing week to week. I think, both of them as freshmen, Callum's a redshirt, Tristan's a true, but, they see what's ahead of them. Talent-wise, they both have it. Mentally, they're both sharp. There's a difference between being smart in the classroom and being smart on game day or on the field when the bullets are flying. So, their development over time will be critical with the reps that they get on the field and how they take advantage of those reps. So my big thing with them has been just continuing to have a sense of urgency to what they're doing. If you're waiting around for your opportunity, you're just waiting, and you've got to take advantage of the time while you are waiting. It's not waiting, you're getting ready. And so keeping a sense of urgency in them, even though they're not playing, they've got to continue to get better and continue to develop.
Did Malik practice today?
Yeah, he was out there. And practiced, yes.
How's he doing?
He's good. He's doing well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, similar thing, like does that change your preparation in the week when you have a guy that's a little banged up coming out of a game like that, especially at that position?
It does. I don't think it did not today. He was full go. He took a lot of reps. Was feeling good. I didn't necessarily know what we were going to get when I saw him yesterday, but he's doing great. He was full go, locked in, ready to rock and roll.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you.
Thanks, Coach. I want to ask, Tyler just brought it up. They told us that you go do bear crawls with the O-line. How'd you kind of start doing that, and what's that pushed you to?
So I'm real close with a lot of the O-line guys, and I'm real big, supporting them because, they're the guys who can't start anything without them. And I just remember I had walked out to talk to some of them and saw them doing bear crawls, and I just started doing them with them. It was just something that I was doing.
You do that every practice, or kind of how's that work?
I remember during fall camp, so the first day I did it, and it was like real hot outside, and the turf put blisters on my hands. So I kind of stopped after that. But most of the time during summer and stuff like that, I was doing it with them.
What did it really mean to you to kind of see an uptick in snaps this past week and really find some success in kind of your first time out?
Yeah, it meant the world to me to kind of just have to be able to go out there and just know that all my work that I put in was meant to something, it was working towards something, the light at the end of the tunnel, I guess you could say.
When you have such a deep running back room, what do you have to do to have that patience that your time is going to come when you're doing all this work, and up until now, this is your first opportunity?
Something Coach Pick tells us all the time is, understand your role, understand where you fit in, and understand, Hank's the guy, Hank's a great running back, and I felt like my role, something I just try to do is chase Hank constantly, try to catch up to him, the way he works, the way he, watches films and prepares for games. I remember I ended up being roommates with Hank before this game, and I'm sitting down, and we had a lot of time because it was a late game, and I look over, and Hank's opening out his playbook, and he's looking through plays and notes and stuff like that, and I was just like, man, gotta catch this guy. You gotta keep working and try to beat him.
Was it a situation in the week of practice leading up that you could tell I'm going to be kind of a focal point of the offense, or was it we'll see when the game comes?
I guess you could say it was more of see where the game comes. Knowing Sala was down, it's next man up.
Yeah.
So I did get an uptake in reps, but I kind of just understood, where I trusted in the coaches. I trusted Coach Pick and the coaching staff a lot, so I just knew if they're going to put me in, they're going to put me in, best case scenario.
How exciting was it in game when you're starting to get a rhythm and starting to get multiple carries and ripping off some yards?
Super exciting.
Yeah.
That was the best feeling ever. To
Yeah.
be able to get out there and just go out and work and play football again.
I know you have a couple uncles who played here.
Yeah.
Did you have family at the game, or?
I had my mom and dad were at the game. My uncle and my girlfriend were there.
Okay. Which uncle?
Charles.
Okay. Nice. How excited were they for you after the game?
Crazy excited. They told me they almost fell out the bleachers watching me.
Nice.
Obviously, you redshirted last season. What were the biggest things you learned from that year that now you're applying?
Basically, same thing. Just watching everybody understand. Season takes understand how to live through a season, how to get through it, or not get through it, but being able to stay healthy, rehabbing a lot, dominate, and prepare for the next game, and understand taking it week by week. I think it's something that watching everybody else go out there and play was a real big thing. Taking it week by week, not getting too I don't know how to say it, but not putting too much on your plate. That's that.
You, kind of around the NFL or maybe, at the college ranks or guys past, you got a running back you kind of model yourself after, or how would you kind of describe your game?
I don't know if I'd say I model myself specifically after like one running back, but I'd say something I try to do in my game whenever I'm playing is just fully commit to a cut. Like when you make a decision, make it full speed. Coach Pick always says something, if you're going to make a decision, don't make it, half pregnant. Go full into it.
You ran the ball really effectively inside last week. You're not a small guy, but you're not the biggest running back in the world either. Is that just a mental approach to the way that you want to run the ball?
Yeah, I'd say it's a mental approach. Just being able to just hammer in your mind that, like, if you see something, go for it. And, don't let anything, try to take you off. Just fully commit to it. So, yeah.
Just any more comments about like what Tyler coming back to the O-line meant for that squad?
Well, Tyler Voltin, he's a real big role model, I'd say. I was talking to him a lot, seeing him work through his injury. So to see him come back, be a part of the O-line, be a part of the game plan and stuff again was really exciting for me. I really like to see him go out there and run behind him. And right after the score, he came up to me and celebrated with me, and that was real nice too.
Yeah, and you're saying role model. Can you like watch his journey as he's working through all his injury and coming back? And did that help you like stay patient when maybe you had a couple weeks without a carry?
Yeah, it's kind of like you see someone like him who just like keeps his head down, works, and doesn't complain about anything, just continues to stay on his grind. And it's kind of, puts you in decision, like, how am I to complain? He's doing his own thing. So, you just got to model what he does.
Anything else? Thanks, Cornell. Thanks.
How did it feel to be back out on the field?
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Felt really good. I didn't really have any issues out there.
Yeah.
I felt the day after, for sure, but it felt great. I wanted to get out there sooner, but, it takes some time. I was still early on the recovery timeline. I was still 11 months, so yeah. Felt great.
Was there an idea of the number of snaps that you wanted to play? Was there some sort of a plan for the game, and about what was that?
Yeah, the plan was 2 series and then 2 series off, 2 series, whatever. And then the game played out. I felt really good. I told Cav that, and we just kept playing, so felt good.
So you flipped from right to left guard. Just kind of, are there any struggles with that change to either side of the O-line?
I was never on the left guard. No, I didn't play. I didn't play left guard last game.
My apologies.
No, you're good. You're good.
You said you wanted to get back sooner. I saw from pregame against Oregon you were kind of warming up in pads. So was the target date to try and get you back by then? Or was
I mean that in the sense where I was like, I wanted to get back beginning of the season. I want to be here start of the season. Then we figured out later, like towards the end of fall campish, middle of fall camp, that it was most likely going to be Game 5, just depending on my strength tests and all that stuff with physical therapy. So took a little bit longer, but in the scheme of things, it wasn't too long, right?
Yeah.
What's the chemistry like when you're coming in a few games in and they've been playing together? Like, are there any issues there, or did you just slide right in?
No, I think we're a tight-knit group as a whole. So I think the interchanging of O-linemen is not going to mess up anything that we got going on. We're a very mature O-line room, so I think that doesn't really matter for us.
Do you know your official snap count? How many it was?
I think 63.
Okay.
Yeah.
The run game really got going. How much fun is it to not only be back on the field, but also like when that unit gets going as an O-lineman?
It's good. It gives you some clarity or validation that what you've been working on is actually, working. So, no, it felt good. And whenever you move a man from point A to point B, you feel pretty damn good. So, yeah, it felt good. We were moving the ball on him really well, and yeah.
With all the struggles that you guys have had up front, kind of in the early parts of the season, how hard is that to kind of have to sit back and watch it play out when you can't go?
I mean, they're doing, they're doing pretty good out there. So it was more of just like wanting to be back playing with all my buddies, But no, I think for like some of the younger guys, it was just trying to be a coaching role model for them. I don't know. just trying to teach them throughout the game, stuff like that, so they wouldn't make the same mistakes again. But no, I think they were pretty solid without me too. So, yeah.
Coming back to first game, were you more comfortable at run blocking, pass blocking, or did you feel like both were good to go?
I think in the moment, I think it didn't really matter. I'll be honest. I felt pretty good doing both. Felt very secure on the knee too, which felt great. But yeah.
What's Tyler Voltin's best coaching point you've offered on the sideline?
5 is 1. 5 people on the line got to play as 1.
What are you seeing from App State? I know they're pretty good against the run, and Gunderson just said that you guys need to, like, as an offense, establish the run to be successful. What are you seeing from them, and what will the challenges be?
Yeah, they're penetrators. They play with good hands and up front at least. So for us, it's getting our feet in the ground and driving them, being on our assignment, and communicating before the snap happens. So making sure that we're calling out everything and being clear with each other. I think a lot of the last game was some of the mishaps was we weren't communicating right. So we just got to communicate better and be clear up there.
Yeah. I think we're about to talk to Cornell too. What did you see from him in the game?
That's awesome. So Cornell's been, I don't know if you guys watch after practice, but we do like bear crawls and leverage drill, and it's like a kind of like a grind at the end. And Cornell, during fall camp, he would always come over and do it with us. So he was grinding with us. So that was great. It was great to see Cornell have some success too. So yeah, he runs downhill. I love it.
How important is it to have multiple backs who can go in there?
It's awesome. We got a great running back room. They run hard, they run physical, and it's our job to do it, to make those holes for them.
When you've got a redshirt freshman back who comes and joins an O-line things that, get the guys fired up, or, you feel better with him in the game.
Redshirt freshman.
Running back, when he wants to come
yeah.
do those bear crawls with you guys, what's that like when he walks over?
It's cool. It's him wanting to work even more than he already is, and I love it. So.
Going into next week, do you have a similar plan for your involvement? Are you still, I'm not expecting you to tell us exactly what the plan is, but
Yeah.
is there still some limitation, or are you just full go?
I'm not sure. That's really up to Cav, what he thinks is best for the line. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Tyler.